Hello, friends. My name is Steve. This is Steve Talks Books. Thank you for coming by and watching my weekly update. It's where I talk about what I've been reading, what I'm going to read, what I won't get to, and everything else in between. If you'd like to connect with me, the best place is on our forum at pagechewing.com. Our blog is there. We also have our forums, our event calendar. We have all the discussions for the group reads we have going on, all the meetups. Everything's planned there, the Friday conversations. I actually did add a new section there on the forum for ARC readers. So if you're an author and want to post there, post your book for people who are looking for ARC readers, or if you're a reader looking for ARCs to read, there's posts there from authors. So swing by and check that out. I already have a couple of ARCs to read next month now. I think I have 2 ARCs, and I also have a beta read. There's a beta read section there too. So I'm going to take a crack at that as well. I can also be found on Vero at that one MFer, or also on Twitter at Steve Talks Books. So let's start with what I was reading last week. Last week was lots and lots and lots of reading and listening. I did read The Wall of Storms. I did about 70% audio and about 30% reading physically or with the Kindle. And I am becoming addicted to audiobooks because I can listen to them when I'm doing other things. It's just a lot easier. And I had to every spare moment I had, I was either reading or listening to The Wall of Storms because it's an 851 page book. And so I had to make lots of progress on it. And so there's books that we enjoy that we really like. I mean, there's books that you walk away from that you really love and you're like, wow, that was a great book. And it sticks with you, and you put it on your favorites list, and you're like, wow, that's a great book. And then there's rare times when a book it goes even further than that. It's not very often, but there's times when there's just something special about it. It's just like another level that you didn't know books can get to. That's The Wall of Storms for me. I'm not trying to gush too much, but The Grace of Kings, I enjoyed The Grace of Kings a lot. There is just something that just didn't push it over the goal line. Now, after reading The Wall of Storms, I just finished it today. I'm recording this on Saturday. I just finished it a little bit ago. The Wall of Storms, what The Grace of Kings set up and what The Wall of Storms did, I like Grace of Kings more now after reading The Wall of Storms because of what it did, what it set up. I'm not going to spoil anything, but there is so much to be said for The Wall of Storms. It's like an epic fantasy, but there's great, there's politics, there's economy, there's science, there's maneuvering, there's double crosses, there's cultures clashing, there's meddling gods. I mean, there's some tragic deaths, and I was hooked all week, so it made it easier to get through The Wall of Storms. I had a week to get through it, and thankfully it is that next gear. There's something special about it that you just when you read something and it's just so good that it's next level. So I'm really looking forward to our discussion on Sunday morning. Fingers crossed nothing comes up. But we'll be talking with Ken Liu, hopefully, on Sunday morning to discuss the first 2 books, and then we'll talk with him after we finish the last book in the series. So there's just so much that happens in The Wall of Storms that there's a lot to talk about. But wow, I mean, excellent book. Also this week, I did read about 100 pages of The Thousandfold Thought, and I read this for our podcast that we're doing with Katerina and Daniel every Friday. So I read, I think, 4 chapters, about 100 pages. We're trying to, take it slow. And things were starting to get explained a little bit because I felt like we were going through a period, and no spoilers, I felt like we were going through a period of questions or, things that were coming up, or new mysteries or things that we haven't had explained yet. And we're starting to get periods of time where we're getting some answers. We're making some progress with things that the whole trilogy has set up. So we're getting some payoffs now, We have about 100 pages left, and I'm wondering what these 100 pages will do for this trilogy, or how much will carry over into the next series, because with about 100 pages left, there's a lot that hasn't been explored yet, that lots of setup. So we'll see how the trilogy wraps up. Really, really curious to see how that all works out. And this week I'll be reading The Thousandfold Thought, and I will also be starting Sons of Darkness. So we're having a discussion next week with the author Guruv Mohanty. We'll be talking with him on Sunday morning next week to discuss that book. So I'll be starting that Sunday, the day that you're watching this. I'll be starting that. And when I finish that, I'll be starting Come With Me by Ronald Malfi. I'm reading this with Jane from Lady Jane Books. So I've been behind on this. I think she's already finished with it. I've just been slammed this month. It's been kind of crazy. So this week, last week on the channel, there was the Friday Conversation episode 50. And what we did was we just kind of left it open. So whoever was on the forum and wanted to sign up, whoever wanted to volunteer to come by, anyone, it was kind of like an open door kind of thing. And we had a big group, and I hope it worked out. In big groups, sometimes it's hard to have, make sure everyone's included. No one feels left out or bored. So hopefully all of you enjoyed it. I had a good time. It struck me on the introduction of that video when I introduced episode 50, it hit me that this is really episode 50. We've done 50 of these. Hello, friends. My name is Steve, and this is the Friday Conversation, episode 50. 50. So,
wow.
Yeah. I don't know why it didn't hit me before. I didn't really think about it, I guess. It didn't seem real. I don't know what it was. It just hit me like a ton of bricks when I said it out loud. So thanks to all of you who have been supporting it, or if you've been on the Friday Conversation. It's been something that I didn't know how it would work out, but thankfully have some really awesome guests that I've been able to twist some arms and have them come on. So thanks to everyone, whether you've come on the Friday Conversation or you watch or listen on the podcast. Thank you so much for your support. It really means a lot to me. I'm really happy that this has become like a normal Friday routine. That's one of the best compliments, I think, for me anyway, that when people say, oh, every Friday I plan on hanging out and watching, that becomes like a routine for some people. That is the best compliment. One of the best compliments I think I've gotten is like, becomes like a routine for them. Like it becomes part of their plans every week. So, it's been a really, really great ride. So thanks to all of you who have been supporting it. Really, really appreciate it. Also this week we had the House of Chains Book 2 discussion. Layla and I got together to discuss Book 2. And, each book is about, 300 pages. So the book within the book, like basically part 2 of the House of Chains. Book 2 was a big change of pace from Book 1. And I struggled through Book 2. There was a lot of things I just didn't understand. I didn't follow. A lot of things I didn't catch. So it really helps to have Layla to bounce ideas off of and have a discussion. And the two of us, I think, missed some things too. So those of you in the comments who've come by to give us a hand, I really appreciate it. We will be finishing up the series or the book, I believe December 10th. It's on the calendar. Go ahead, check it out. If you'd like to come by, we really would like more people to come by, especially if whether you've read the series before or not. We really would like more people to discuss it with, because there's so much to discuss. So all that's on the forum. Drop by and check it out, and RSVP if you'd like to come by. That's where I post all the links to join. And on Saturday, we had the Wrathbringer discussion with Christopher G. Brenning. So we had a full spoiler discussion for the first book. Now we're doing the Wrathbringer, the second book in the Hellborn King saga. So we'll be wrapping up those two books on Saturday. Looking forward to that. And then also we will be talking, like I said, about The Wall of Storms with author Ken Liu and some friends who are going to come by and chat. And also, of course, we'll be finishing up The Thousandfold Thought. The YouTube videos are a week behind the podcast. So if you're watching on YouTube, we are a week behind on YouTube. But if you're anxious and want to listen to it now, it's available on the podcast. We re-record those every Friday. So sometimes it takes me a day or so to get it uploaded. So be patient with me. And I'm not sure if we're going to do a Friday conversation this week. I know I've had a couple of discussions with a couple people. I think we'll probably throw something together. It's kind of a weird time with the holiday. People are traveling, they have family in from out of town or what have you. So I think we should have one. I'm not quite sure just who yet, but it's kind of evolving. It's an evolving thing. So fingers crossed that it works out. But the plan is to have it. We'll see if anyone's willing to come by and talk. So also on the forum, I posted my plans for December. So if anyone wants to buddy read any of this stuff with me, all the books I plan to read in December are there. I'm not going to get to all of them. It's just like a hopeful, these are the books I really would really like to get to. It's not in stone. It's just hopeful. So check out the list and let me know if you'd like to come by. A couple of them are arcs that you can get on the forum. So no charge if you want to read with me. Just post there and then you can get the arc and we'll read together and have a good time. And of course, all the other buddy reads we have planned are all taking place there on the forum too. So check those out. Speaking of buddy reads, there's something I wanted to address. I was talking with someone, another creator recently, and they had said that they felt BookTube was very clicky, that there were certain cliques of, and there's people who weren't so pleasant. And thankfully, I've had some really great interactions with people. I've had a couple of bad ones, but 99% of the time, everyone I've talked to has been really friendly and willing to engage and interact and, spend their time and energy and that kind of thing. So I haven't had many bad interactions, but I can see, I understand some people have. If you're someone who is a creator on BookTube or you want to start creating or you want to be involved in the community, but you're afraid of getting stuck in that weird place of not having friends, basically, we're open. We're always open for new people to come by and join us. We're really easygoing. We like to connect with people, like to talk to people. So if you're one of those people who feel like you're left out, drop by, let us know, come and say hello. We're a friendly bunch. And my question for you this week is, what was your first concert? This is a question that I asked on the forum. Lots of great answers there, that lots of varying concerts that we've all been to for our first one. I think we all remember our first concert. My first concert wasn't until high school. I didn't really go to many concerts, but my sister, she was dating this police officer, and they had long-term relationships. So he was like part of the family. He called me one night and said, "Hey, we're going to the Rolling Stones. I want to be there in a little bit to pick you up because we're gonna go." And I was like, "Nah, I don't really feel like going." I was like playing Counter-Strike or Team Fortress Classic or something. I was doing something that, something pointless. But at the time, I just didn't feel like getting dressed and going. It was like an October night or something. But he's like, "No, I'll be there. So get ready. I'm on my way." So we ended up going, and I saw the very tail end of Sheryl Crow because she opened for them and had a really great time. And I didn't know much about the Rolling Stones. I mean, I knew of them. I didn't really know too much about their music, and I kind of regret that now because I think I would have enjoyed it a lot more, even though I enjoyed it. It was still a really great time. We had really great seats too, so it was a really, an eye-opening experience for me. And so then I was willing to go to more concerts and chose concerts over video games after that. But let me know what your first concert was. What was it like? Did you have a good time? Was it a band you enjoyed? Was it your favorite band? What was your first concert? What was your first experience? Let me know down below in the comments. So this week we did finish Veep, and I won't spoil anything, but the end felt sudden. The end of the series felt a little sudden. I get what they were trying to do, but it felt really abrupt. It felt like I felt like there was going to be a lot more, and it just stopped. Like the door slammed in your face. So, and it kept its tone at the end. It kind of knew, Veep knows what it's doing, but I'm a little bit disappointed by the end, gotta say. But fun ride if you haven't seen Veep and you enjoy comedy, like crude, like dark humor. Give it a watch. I think it's worth watching. It's one of those you can kind of watch and relax and just have a good time with. So And like I said, I say this every time, but I think it's closer to reality than we'd like to admit. Also this week, I started listening to Brockhampton. The album is Roadrunner. And I had found Brockhampton a couple years ago, and I forget the name of the album. I think it was Saturation 2. I used to listen to a lot when I went on bike rides. So it kind of reminds me of, being on my bike. But I didn't check out their other albums until recently, and what an amazing lineup. Really impressed with Brockhampton. I think they dissolved. I think they broke up. I don't think they're making music anymore, which is such a shame because they have some great music. So if you're into rap, this is like an ensemble cast, so you get different styles throughout. Sometimes it's like an R&B, sometimes it's rap, sometimes it's hip hop. There's a big range. It's not very. I don't want to say it's not focused. There's a variety of sounds that they create, which I really enjoy. It's kind of like not really like Wu-Tang Clan because it's more. I think it's broader than that because there's different production and things like that. Whereas a band like Wu-Tang had, I think, mostly one producer, like with RZA. I think he did most of their production. So Brockhampton, if you're into that type of music, highly recommend checking it out. I think it's worth a listen as well. So how are you doing? What are you reading, watching, or listening to? I always love to hear about it. Let me know about your first concert going experience down below. And check out our forums. Come by and say hello. Check out and see the different arcs that are available. Or if you want a beta read, there's also some short stories that are posted there. So come by and check it out. Say hello. Join our discussions. Join our little circle of friends. We're always open to having more people. So I hope you're doing well. I hope you have a great holiday. Hope all of you if you're into that sort of thing, hope you have a great week. Hope everything is going well for you. If you're in the Northeast where it's getting just hammered with snow in the country, hope stay warm, be careful. It's getting cold here, but it's not that cold. We don't really get snow here. The desert doesn't get that much snow. We get like dusts and then it's gone by 11 usually, but it doesn't usually snow until like March or April. So it's really strange, but we don't get much snow here, thankfully, because I hate driving in the snow. It's nice to look at when you're inside and looking out, but when you have to deal with it, it's when you have to shovel the driveway and things, it's not so fun. I bet it gets old pretty quick. So let me know down below how you're doing, what you have planned for the holiday, if you're into it. If not, what do you have planned for the week? Always love to hear about it. Love to interact with all of you and really appreciate you coming by to say hello, to all the support. I really, really appreciate it. Until next time, talk to you soon.